I was at the Citadel for college. 9/11 happened my freshman year. A bunch of us dropped out of college and enlisted in the Navy.
I joined after 9/11.
I had a really good friend from high school. She got out of college and decided to go into the Air Force and was talking to me about it and telling me about the educational benefits and what the Air Force was like. I was looking to want to go to school but didn't have the opportunity. And this gave me the opportunity and the means to be able to get an education, get paid, and learn some things.
I joined the Navy in 2006, and most of that came from my grandfather raising me. He was a Navy commander for 20 years, from 1959 to 1979.
My dad was in the Navy, my grandfather was in the Navy, my now wife is in the Navy.
My dad was drafted for Vietnam. Just wanted to follow in his footsteps.
Service for your country is just something that it's always been instilled in me, ingrained in me. It's something I knew I'd always do.
First time I was enlisted E7 as an intelligence analyst. And the second time I was a captain, a cyber warfare officer. My time at the agency was very meaningful, mostly spent during counterterrorism missions, counter-narcotics, and then some strategic countries as well.
My job in the Navy is a operations specialist. That's pretty much a fancy word for radar operator on ships at sea. I always like to say that my job in that was kind of like, you know who Maverick is in Top Gun. I was the guy that was talking to Maverick.
Aviation technician, second class on the USS Enterprise. Essentially what I did was I worked on the micro miniature repair. So if you ever think of like the inside electronics, those green cards, that was me and my team. We'd fix those green cards for aviation products.
I started out in the Air Force in long-distance telephone communication, satellite communication. I had asked the Air Force if they would allow me to transfer over into a legal position. I found that much more interesting, and I was approved to do that. And so my last few years, 10 years or so in the military, were actually focused in the legal arena as a paralegal.
Veterans Day for me, it means first of all the people that served before me, like my grandfather, appreciating their service and any kind of wisdom that they had during their service, translating it to, my service or carrying it forward for my service. And then also the people that I've served with for Veterans Day, the bonds, the camaraderie that I've shared with those, the friendships that I've made.
I think it's just the day that we really need to appreciate the people who have given something of themselves for who we are, the United States of America.
I feel like as you get older and you get further away from being in the military, the more it means to you. These kids, they're literally jumping on ships and fighting the good fight for us. And I think as a country, we may not be as appreciative as we used to be, but I certainly am appreciative of everything they do.
For people to stop and take a moment and appreciate us for what we did, it's a great moment.